Over the years, Super Smash Bros. Has become not only a celebration for Nintendo, but for gaming as a whole. Back on Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U, we saw arguably the greatest crossover of all time, with the likes of Ryu, Cloud, Bayonetta, Pac-Man, Mega Man, Sonic, and of course Mario all in one game. The idea that, at least to me, is just insane that all of those characters could be in one game. That's a lot of rights and reservations, but hey, it happened, guys. So now, for Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch, or Smash 5, could we be seeing even more crazy third-party characters? Is that possible? What sort of things could we actually be seeing? Now, I have some ideas for at least some really cool ones, and there's actually some evidence for all of them, at least the ones I'm about to say. So, let's get started. So, the first of the three crazy third-party characters that I have in mind is Shovel Knight. Now, Shovel Knight, actually, there was some talk about him actually making it into Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, a few years ago, but it just didn't happen for, well, I'm not sure for all of the reasons, but there was a lot of talk behind him. Well, one, people were figuring that there should be some sort of representation for indie games. They were starting to get pretty popular back then. On top of that, Shovel Knight is pretty much the icon and the torchbearer for indie games, so if any indie character is going to make it in Smash Bros., it would be Shovel Knight. There was even a Shovel Knight amiibo, and on top of that, Liam Robertson, who supposedly has inside sources for the industry, had reports that Shovel Knight was going to make it into Smash Bros. Of course, as history has revealed to us, that just didn't happen. So why should things be different now? Well, things are slightly different now. The Switch is a much more popular system. This Smash Bros. Is going to have even longer legs. It's going to be going on for a longer amount of time. Shovel Knight has become progressively even more popular. Indies and Nindies have become a much bigger deal with Nintendo now, so you would have to think that Nintendo would want to pay homage to all these Indies and Nindies on the Switch with some sort of character, and like I said beforehand, what better character than Shovel Knight? I think it would just fit so extremely well. Another possibility is that maybe, I've talked about this before, but maybe in this Smash Bros. We'll get a lot more alternate costumes as opposed to just clones, so maybe Shovel Knight could also swap into different costumes for other popular indie characters, but obviously I think the main one would have to be Shovel Knight, and the moveset would be based around Shovel Knight if this were to happen. But regardless, I think there's still a pretty good chance that we could be seeing Smash Brothers, and maybe they were thinking about getting it onto Wii U and 3DS, but they just decided to keep them in, hold them off until this version of Smash Bros. For the Switch. And they could even tie in this whole, if it happens, theoretically, this whole Shovel Knight announcement with an announcement for the King Knight campaign that we've all been waiting for since, the whole Shovel Knight package came out for the Nintendo Switch early on, and it's, it was a launch window game. So maybe we could be seeing those both revealed at the same time in the not too distant future. Now, the next one I'm going to be talking about is one that it would just be right. It really would be. And that character, or characters, is Banjo and Kazooie. Now, Banjo and Kazooie, yes, now are owned by Microsoft. They are officially Microsoft characters. But once upon a time, they were exclusive Nintendo characters. They're Rare characters, but at a certain point, Nintendo had a large stake in Rare, and Rare pretty much only made games for Nintendo. And that's where Banjo and Kazooie enjoyed their prime. Banjo and Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie were the two best Banjo and Kazooie games by a long shot. There really isn't any argument here. Nuts and Bolts is terrible, and if you disagree, well, okay, you can enjoy that game, but you also have to understand that Banjo-Kazooie is leagues better. But regardless, now Nintendo doesn't have any sort of stake in them at all, so how could this happen? Does this even make any sense? Well, obviously, Nintendo fans want Banjo-Kazooie in Smash Bros., but can it work out in terms of rights and stuff between Microsoft and Nintendo? Well, actually, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, back in 2015 during the whole Smash Ballot thing, was saying he would love it for Banjo-Kazooie to make into Smash Bros. He would totally facilitate that happening. It didn't happen. But now, 2018, he's gone out and said it again, that the Xbox team would still love to get Banjo and Kazooie to Smash Bros. Honestly, it makes a lot of sense for Microsoft because getting Banjo-Kazooie out into Smash Brothers is just free marketing, essentially. But for Nintendo, what sort of benefit could they have? Well, maybe there could be some sort of tie-in, an actual Banjo-Kazooie game could be made for Nintendo, or maybe they could share that. Probably not. That's me just kind of dribbling a little bit too much. But maybe, you know, if Banjo-Kazooie is a DLC character for Smash Brothers, then all of the people that would buy that DLC would, obviously, that would be a lot of money, and Nintendo would reap the benefits of that. So this makes a lot of sense. Banjo-Kazooie could have a completely unique style. Obviously, it's a two-character sort of thing, kind of like Ice Climbers, maybe also like Rex and Pyra. And it would make so much sense, and I think all of you guys want this to happen. I want this to happen. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, wants it to happen. Come on, Sakurai. Come on, Nintendo. Make it happen. This last character I'm going to be talking about is a character that I think it's going to be a little controversial. I think some of you guys are going to disagree with this, but nevertheless, the hype levels for this would be unreal. And that character is Son Goku from Dragon Ball. That's right, Goku, the crazy-haired Super Saiyan that is awesome. Basically the poster boy for shonen anime. He is the main character of Dragon Ball, the series that came over to America and popularized anime. And Dragon Ball is a global anime, the most popular anime from a worldwide perspective. It's insane, it's crazy. And it might happen, but I understand what some of you may be saying. Yeah, Goku originally was a manga character, an anime character, not a video game character. Smash Bros. Is a celebration of video game characters, not anime characters. True, but also, Goku has been in more video games than most, if not all, of the characters in Smash Brothers. He has been in so many, and a lot of them have been very good games, and a lot of those games have been on Nintendo systems. So in that respect, he still does have a lot of video game heritage, even though his origins may be a little different. And on top of that, Goku is going to be representing the Olympics in 2020 in Japan alongside Mario. Like, that's just how big of a deal he is. Like, in that regard, it kind of makes a lot of sense. But not only that, guys, Funimation, the company that handles all of the, the rights and stuff with Goku and Dragon Ball and all the shows, they're literally going out publicly on Twitter, trying to communicate with Nintendo to get them to get Goku into Smash Brothers. They want it to happen. The same way Microsoft wants Banjo-Kazooie in Smash Brothers, Funimation wants Goku in Smash Brothers. So can it happen? Well, Funimation's willing to do their part. Will Sakurai and Smash Brothers or Nintendo oblige? That remains to be seen, but the same point I made with Banjo-Kazooie, the amount of money there is to be made with this, the amount of people that would go crazy for Goku and Smash Brothers would make just too much sense. Now the thing is, yeah, these characters I think would be really cool. It could all have unique movesets. I'll probably have to make an individual video for each of those. So if you haven't been here before, make sure to subscribe. I will be doing that really soon. But the thing is I don't think they'll be like a part of the main cast. I understand that, their third party character is Goku. If he's in it, he's not even a real video game character. So yeah, I don't think they would be in the main cast. I think they would function best as DLC characters because, well, one, there's a lot more money to be made that way. People would just literally, buy Banjo-Kazooie if they want that, buy Goku if they want that, or Shovel Knight, and the DLC that can be made from that would work really well. Maybe if one of those characters isn't a DLC character but still makes it into Smash Bros., I could see Shovel Knight being like a part of the main cast, but I think Goku and Banjo-Kazooie would be DLC characters if it were to happen. But regardless, these characters are really crazy, they're really cool, I love each respective franchise, and it'd be really awesome to see them in Smash Bros. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you love to see these guys? Do you think it's likely? Or what are the sort of crazy third-party characters you would want to see in the next Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch? Let me know, like this video, and I'll see you all really soon.